Okie dokie. Welcome back. I am Urbana Pilot, as always. Um, it's been a while, uh, but I know I need to get back to the Metroid stream, and what better way to get back to it than to continue on with the story? Um, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I am going through these games in chronological order rather than release date order. So, last time we did NES Metroid, which is the original game, and then we did Metroid Zero Mission for the Game Boy Advance, the 2006 remake? It was either 2006 or 2004. I don't remember exactly. But, had some fun with that. Uh, Now we're going to be going on to the first 3D entry in the Metroid series. It's a little rough, but honestly, this is my favorite Metroid game of all time. Like, hands down. Super Metroid's awesome, but Metroid Prime, hands down my favorite. It's just something about the environments and stuff. It looks so beautiful, and the set pieces are awesome. If you haven't gotten it already from the title theme, it's like a really I don't even know where to describe the atmosphere of the soundtrack, but oh man, it's awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and press start. And I think this is on my other memory card, but that's okay. For this one, I am actually going to be starting over from the beginning, um, because, well, first of all, new playthrough, and also, you know, I can show you guys how this game really impressed me back in the day. So, first of all, the game is awesome in and of its own right, but it also had some extras. So, you know, you play the game, you beat it, bam. Around the time of this game's release, another game was released with it called Metroid Fusion, which will be the last game that I play in this marathon or whatever. Both of them were released after like quite an extended amount of time from from Super Metroid. You know, it was like a 6-year gap. People were itching for their Metroid fix. Two games came out. One was Metroid Fusion, or Metroid 4, and then there was Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime was originally met with some negative feedback when it was announced, because it looked like it was just going to be a first-person shooter. Metroid isn't known as just a game where you shoot things. I mean, yeah, you shoot things, but there's also exploration, you know, puzzles to solve. It's not like just your typical run and shoot up things type game. When it was announced, they had a demo that looked very similar to games like Halo, which did not look very favorable for a Metroid game. But when the game came out, you know, it was exactly what, you know, Metroid was. An exploration adventure type game where, of course, you're going to be in the first person shooter mode. But, you know, there's puzzles to look for, plenty of stuff to do like you would do in a normal Metroid game. Personally, I got this like quite a while after the game was released. It was probably after Metroid Prime 2, to be honest. But when I got it, I noticed on the back of the box it had some bonus features on it, where you could connect your Game Boy Advance with a copy of Metroid Fusion. If it was completed, you could connect both the Game Boy Advance with the GameCube, and you could unlock some bonuses in Metroid Prime. And I'll go ahead and show those now, unless I don't have them unlocked, which I'm kind of hoping I don't. Oh yeah, there. Oh no, I don't. Okay, so at the end, I'll go ahead and do this really cool thing where if you connect your Game Boy Advance with, you know, your GameCube, you can actually unlock an alternate costume for your character, which is this fusion suit from Metroid Fusion. Very cool little add-on. I love stuff like that. And that's what made this game just so awesome to me. And, of course, with that, you can also unlock the original NES Metroid if you beat the game, which is why I've got so many copies of the original game. But anyway, I'll show that off in the end. Let's go ahead and start this up. I don't know if I have hard mode. Oh, no, I don't. First things first, I want to see if everything's good. Okay. Yeah, I don't have hard mode. That's odd. Well, I guess it makes sense, because I don't have it on the right memory card, but that's okay. Those polygons. So that is a much different looking starship than the last game, that's for sure. Of course, as you guys remember, her ship got shot down, so we're flying around in her new, more interesting looking starship. It's not the iconic one, that's for sure. I think this one was specific to the Prime games, but I still think it looks pretty dope. And with that glorious entrance, let's begin. So, Metroid Prime is a little bit different from most first-person shooter games. You don't have free look around. Or you do, but you don't do it with the other control stick. So C-stick is for another function we'll get into later. For this game, your two ways of looking around are L, which locks on to certain targets, as it's showing right now, and then R allows you to free look. So, you know, you can look up and down, diagonally. You can also see your hand. That's pretty cool. And then here, you know, it tells you about how you have different visors. So, I guess we haven't really gotten the Super Metroid, but forget it. I'll talk about that later. For this game, they have different types of visors that you can activate. This one that I'm using now is Scan Visor. So, you know, you activate that. Any red blocks that you see are important scans that you have to scan. Or should scan. You don't have to, but some of them are mandatory. But anyway, if you see orange ones, they have, like, you know, just information about what the thing in front of you is. Giving you a little more in-depth explanation of, you know, what it is, why it's important, blah blah blah. For this game, that scan log, or the scan visor, is pretty dang important if you want to get 100% completion. Scanning things in this game will allow you to, there's a door, by the way. It'll allow you to unlock certain bonuses and stuff, even more than what you normally get. So you can get stuff like artwork. Actually, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just artwork. By the way, I want to point this out. These little beetle-looking things are just floating here. You can shoot them. Even though they're already dead. Depressurize the airlock. Everything falls down. Shoot the door. You'll notice that the door kind of hangs there, and it doesn't open up immediately. I think there was something crawling under there. Yep, little guys. That's because it's loading in the next room. Because obviously, having a whole room in at one time is a lot for a system to handle. So, it has to load them in one at a time. So, here's where a scan log comes into play when doing a 100% run, which I am going to be trying to do. Every now and then you'll find creatures and stuff that you have to scan. They'll get recorded to your logbook, which I'll show off in a second. Be sure, if you want the 100% run, scan everything. Everything that moves or looks important. Obviously, dead bodies and stuff, you don't really have to scan them. Although, it is kind of interesting. It does give you, like, a little more of an in-depth explanation as to what happened. Basically like a background check, almost. It's kind of neat. Death caused by severing of the spinal cord, obviously. And then, not every monster here is going to have some kind of log information. Most of this is just for lore. But, anyway. Once you scan the creature, you don't have to scan it again. Here's kind of a weird area, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be moving. But anytime you see a space pirate, as far as I'm aware, you do not have to scan them. Our returning charge beam. And you'll notice that in this game, we actually have a couple power-ups left over and whatnot. We don't have all of our power-ups from Zero Mission, but we've still got plenty of them. Anyway, in this room we have the map station. Not really important, but I'll go ahead and collect it anyway. I think one of these scan logs says, oh look, we have a visitor, and that's supposed to be, like, talking about us. Yep, here it is. Oh, never mind. Whatever. Anyway, you walk into these little holograms at map stations. They'll let you download the map. Pretty nifty. And unlike Metroid Zero Mission, it's obviously a 3D game, so it's going to have a 3D map. It won't show you where items are. That's for you to explore and find out. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Most of the items in this game are pretty easy to find. It's when you get to Prime 2 where things start to get a little crazy. I mean, there's some cryptic things, but it's not nearly as bad as other games in the series. You'll see on the left side there's an exclamation mark going up as I approach the fire and stuff, and it'll get really high over here, and it'll start saying warning when that electricity goes off. That's your threat meter for certain hazards. It doesn't come into play very often, but, definitely keep it in mind. Anywho, there's something moving in there, but again, it's not really important to scan it. The only thing that you're really going to scan here are those beetles. Everything else is kind of just not important. But anyway. Oh, never mind. So be careful around these corners. elevators. Sometimes there can be a little turret that's supposed to guard the hallways and whatnot. Scan that, because that's another creature log. I believe there's a switch that you can activate that should turn off, but it is not here. So, just shoot like you've never shot before. Huh, weird. Anywho, in here, you'll see a red dot over here, or red square. This is pirate log info. Basically lore. If you go to read it, I should probably show off the logbook now. This is your inventory, just like in the Zero Mission game, you know, it tells you everything that you have. And then you have your logbook. This is where all of your information that you've scanned comes in. So we just scanned, you know, one pirate data log entry. And if you click on it, or push on it, you know, it'll show you this whole log entry that gives background and stuff to what's been going on in the story. This talks about how, you know, Zebes has, you know, been, or their base on Zebes was destroyed or whatever by Samus, and how they how they wish to have vengeance for what happened. But yeah, anyway, you get creature information. Some of them have pictures, I think. Sorry, that noise is probably like really, really annoying. But yeah, some of them have pictures. You can look through the information and stuff. Not really important to the story, but it's kind of cool. And then, of course, you have your research stuff. So, like item pickups, map rooms, and stuff like that. This is kind of short, or foreshadowing to what we're going to see on the planet when we get there. Sometimes you have to activate these elevators. All that jazz. Shoot a couple aliens here and there. Scan that for the research entry. These are energy, by the way. This one will give you 10 energy back. Ouch. Red ones will give you 20. And then there's like yellow ones, or orange ones, that'll give you 100 back. Very handy. So that space bear right there was a little more healthy than the other ones that we saw. I think there's something. Well, not there anymore. Again, has to load in the room, otherwise this game would be very messy. Young me probably would have shut off the game at that point. Is this thing scannable? Pretty sure it isn't. What is that? No. Ooh, I walked into the wrong room. So there's some missile ammo. With the charge beam in this game, you'll notice what I just did there. If you charge up your weapon, any power-ups that are out of your reach will be pulled to you. Basically, any power-ups at all will be pulled to you. Very neat. We'll go ahead and run in here, and I'll show off this thing here. This is a save station. All all save stations in this game will not only save your game, but they'll also replenish all of your energy. They won't replenish missiles, but energy, you can always count on that. So, pretty handy. Anyway, if you scan some of these guys, no life signs detected. These creatures still contain a hate signature. They have not been here for very long, which can only mean one thing. We're about to get into some baddies or something. What on earth is that? So here's our first boss encounter. They take a little bit longer to scan than most creatures. Definitely scan them though, because I can guarantee you will never have another chance to scan them. So most bosses have like a strategy in this game. Usually just involves strafe jumping and stuff. You'll notice that there is a health bar right under my health bar, which will tell you how much health is left on this guy. Pretty quick fight. Very simple-minded monster. Did not last very long at all.
Evacuate immediately.
And already we're off to a countdown, because apparently Samus can't go to a place without blowing it up. So. Fortunately, they give us a lot of time, so just be sure to get out of there. Of course, you need as much time as you can for this situation, because these elevators are not very fast. If you scan this here, this is what I wanted to show off earlier. It'll actually disable the turrets that shoot at you down these holes and stuff. Only for that specific room. Don't have to shoot those guys, they're kind of just there. They get blown up anyway. Although this guy could prove to be a little troubling. A lot of these guys could. I should probably go ahead and elaborate. Missiles do have their normal ammo count. You'll see on the right side, right under the map. Oh, right, beetles. If there's one thing to take from this game is a little bit gorier than most of the Metroid games. Of course, you're not going to see anything like red blood or whatever. It's mostly just going to be green ooze, blue ooze. But anyway, yeah. Missiles, just like the normal game, you know, or the original game. You know, you're going to have a certain amount. You get missile tanks and they increase. Pretty neat. We're going to speed this up a little bit. A little difference in this game is bombs aren't, well, they don't look normal. They actually look like little energy balls. I think they look kind of cool in this game. This part always got me tense when I was younger, because I always thought if I let it get me, it would crush me. Fortunately, it won't. It stops right before the wall or right before you get crushed. It's just there to spook you. Anywho, run through here. Something's up. Oh look! It's our old friend Ridley. He's looking a lot more menacing than he did in the NES game. He's also shinier. So apparently in the original Metroid game, he was defeated, but they recovered his body and basically turned him into a cyborg or whatever. Pretty cool concept, if you ask me. So it's not like normal Ridley, it's just a metal Ridley, I guess. Here's a bit of important exposition. So notice that we had all of our items, or most of our items from the original game. Well, guess what? Those are gone now. Of course, you can't go through the whole game powered up. That would just be crazy. Anywho, your Varia suit is gone, Morph Ball is gone, missiles are gone, Charge Beam gone, Grapple Beam gone. Oh, I guess I didn't explain that either. The Grapple Beam was that thing we used to get over those chasms after we saw Ridley. But anyway, everything that you have is gone now. All you have is this beam and your visors. You can't even roll up into a ball anymore. No Morph Ball bombs, no nothing. Fortunately, you don't need that to get out of here. Oh, looks like Michael is, oh, sorry, I didn't even see you there. Lots of buffering. It's coming through pretty good on my side. Huh. Weird. I don't know what's causing the buffering. Could just be my internet connection. I don't know though. It's coming up pretty good on my side. Sorry I didn't respond to you sooner though. Well, unfortunately I'm just gonna have to make do with what I got. If it is buffering though, I do apologize. Because I've had this problem in the past. I actually had to switch from a wireless setup to a wired setup with my internet router, because when I did the Slender stream for Halloween, I noticed that it was just awful lag on the stream and stuff. I don't really know what to do about this, or about lag on this one though. That's weird though, it's coming in like perfect on my view of the stream. I can check and see if there's anything going on in the background. No updates. Try and close some tasks. Alrighty, hopefully that gets better. If not, my apologies. I don't really know what else to do, but I guess that's what the YouTube footage is for. Though it's nice to have you on the stream, though. I was hoping that you'd be on, or you'd be available. Sorry again, though, I didn't get to respond to you sooner. Guess I was focusing too much on the game. Try and prop this up so I can see you. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So, back to where we were. Now we are on Town 4, which is basically where we're going to be for the rest of the game. Before you do anything, exactly what I just did anyway, go and scan your ship, because your ship is eventually going to repair itself or something. Or I don't remember, maybe it's in the second game, but there is a point where you can't scan it anymore. Be sure to scan it as soon as you can, otherwise you will never get that chance. But anywho, once that's done, just go over here, and typically this is the first enemy that you come across on the planet. Not too dangerous, of course it just brought me down to 69 health, but energy, but that's okay. It's about the worst of the enemies that you're going to come across. Again, just scan as much as you can. Anything that stands out, it's usually a creature or something like that. Don't blow those up too close to you. They can hurt. These little spore things, if you touch them, they actually can hurt you. Over here, we got a classic to the Metroid series, the Zoomers. And then over here you've got its stronger version, the Jeemer. Cannot be destroyed by a normal weapon blast. You have to use missiles. So, but anyway, we're just gonna skip some of these guys. So if you played any other Metroid game in the series, you'll know that this is kind of just the transition from place to place. This here is the Chozo Ruins, which is pretty much the hub world. You get to most of your places through here. Every now and then your visor will provide you a hint as to where to go. This will get you the next item that you need. Pretty handy, but I already know where most of the stuff is. If you see stuff like that on the wall, always scan it. It's Chozo Lore, which is pretty much like pirate data, except for the Chozo. So, pretty nifty. Anyway, welcome to the Chozo Ruins. Very nice camera work there, by the way. gonna see a lot of beetles here, and a lot of wasp-looking things flying around too. Look at that. There's something that can't be reached, but we'll get it. Hey, Lone Spooner. Oh, I didn't scan those. Oh, well. There's plenty more times we're gonna see those. They're just little scarab beetles. In here, you'll find ions, I believe. They're pretty harmless. Just make sure that you shoot them before they slice you. They do a bit of damage, so. Eventually, you'll get access to the charge shot, which I believe can take care of those. That hint system will also show you where certain save areas are. It's alright, I guess. Oh, thank you. Very, very helpful. I probably never would have noticed that. Love the first area the ghosts come out. Yeah, we'll we'll get to those. Those are something, I guess. Definitely have a different outlook on the ghosts, you and I. Right. I'm gonna save kind of early on in this game at a lot of places. It's just safer for the most part. It's the last thing I want is to get killed here. I already had an embarrassing enough time with Metroid Zero Mission. I'd rather not die again. Now, when it comes to Metroid Prime 2, that's a different story. I'll probably die a lot in that game. Okay, so those war wasps that come out, scan their nests, because those also count as a scan log. That was red, but that's just to tell you, you know, hey, this is a wall that you can blow up. And if you scan it, it'll tell you what material it's made out of. Certain materials can only be destroyed by certain things. So that right there was made out of brimstone, which means it'll be destroyed by a missile. There's some, like bendesium, which can only be destroyed by a power bomb. I gotta stop shooting so many things. I'm not gonna get 100% scans if I keep doing that. Plasmites. I don't know why, but when I first played this game, that thing killed me so many freaking times. No reason either. I guess I just kept going, or I like walked up to it and I got stuck next to him. Anywho, hop up here. You'll see this big, huge chamber with mouth-looking things. Okay, just sitting there. And over there, you're gonna see our missiles. We're gonna get those back, thank goodness. But it's never as easy as it seems. So, watch closely. Here's how you get your missiles. The room's gonna fill up with acid. If you read certain things, you'll read things like, oh, it's not supposed to be that way. There's supposed to be water here and stuff. Hold on a second. These are war wasps, but they're like a different breed. They're a lot stronger. And they hurt too. They come out of this thing called the Hive Mecha. When I first played this, I didn't even know that was a scan. So, just remember that. It's right under the acid too. So, make sure that you scan it. Because it is a boss, and it will disappear. Ooh, he almost pushed me off. These guys will fly around, and then eventually they'll stop. It's your job to spin around and lock onto them. Looking at the radar kind of helps, which is something I'm not doing right now. When they do dive after you, be sure to jump. On hard mode, these guys can kind of give you a bit of a rough time. When the hatch opens up and it shows red, aim at it and shoot it. Your primary enemy here is the hive. So, I guess you can also step out of the way, but jumping typically works. Anywho, it's going to do that 3 times, and every time that you shoot one of those, it's going to spawn even more wasps. Be sure to kill them. If you just shoot in the air like that, sometimes you can kill them just as they fly by. I think I've done it a couple times. And, you know, in this stage, some of them will stop and attack you, others will still continue to fly. Just keep that in mind. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but just keeping in mind that they do have a specific pattern. Anywho, defeat the hive, the acid starts to lower, you can walk across this bridge now and collect your missiles. Also show off an awesome cutscene. So now we've got our missiles back, and we might as well scan the store. This is a missile door. Unlike Metroid, or NES Metroid, or much similar to Zero Mission, it only takes 1 missile to open up one of these doors. So shoot it and go through. And right after all that, we get ourselves an energy tank. Don't have to scan it, by the way. You can get a lot of energy tanks in this game. Not nearly as many as, like, say, Super Metroid, but you get a pretty beefy amount. I think you get like 15, maybe 12. Maybe more. Anywho, you'll see that there's a Morph Ball spot, but unfortunately we can't do that yet. So, we gotta run through here. That caves in for some reason. I think it adds a bridge or something. I don't know. Boom. Ooh, I should scan that. So there's the 20 units of energy, the red version. These tangleweeds here, if you step in them, these ones are harmless, but if you step in them and you start walking through them, they slow you down. So keep that in mind when you're trying to make jumps. That plasmite, because, like I said, I've been killed by them before. Don't know why, but I have. Jeez, wasps. Even in video games, they give me such a hard time. Anyway, let's blow open that wall, reveal ourselves another missile pack. Or, in this case, I guess it's missile expansion. Ooh. Open this up. I think there's a map room in here. Yeah, just a map room. We'll still get it. Sorry about that. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when spring comes around. But anywho, you'll notice that there is pretty much green acid all over the place. That's not supposed to be here. It kind of just ties in with you know, what's been going on with this planet, why it's so important, why the space pirates are here. We'll get into that a little more later. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full playthrough of the game in this stream. I might call it at about the halfway point. Because this is a long game, and it's also kind of a slow game. That being said, typically you can get through it in like 4 hours or so, but it really depends on how I'm feeling at the end of this. Not that I'm sick or anything, I don't know. This game, it's fun to play, but only in waves. Because in this game there is a lot of backtracking. And that can be fun at times, but in this game it gets a little repetitive. Not nearly as much as Metroid Prime 2 though. My gosh, that game is backtracking incarnate. And on top of that, that game is also really, really hard. Somebody was a little too excited to add challenge to the game. But anyway, we're off to go get our next power-up after we kill these beetles. That lock-on feature's like not the best in this game. It has trouble locking on sometimes. Okay, I did scan this. Sitting there wondering, did I scan him? That's like the one thing that nags me the most about this game. There are so many cases where you'll come across an enemy and you'll be sitting there thinking, did I scan it or did I not? And then, you know, for me personally, I'll get to like the very end of the game and I'll realize that I'm missing something. And I'm like, what on earth am I missing? And it'll either be something really, really simple, like a Gmer or something, or it'll be a one-time scan, and it just totally throws off my day. Want my scan logs complete, man. Anywho, as you could see there, we were getting something that looked pretty similar to a morph ball. Is it the morph ball? Probably. But first we gotta beat our way through all these beetles. And now we get to our second boss. More so like a mini boss. I mean, Hive Mecha was pretty much a mini boss too, but this one you'll see as a recurring upgraded enemy. Pretty easy to take down. Anything that has red on it is usually just like a giant hit me spot. He'll do this thing where he'll charge after you, and when he turns around, just shoot him in the butt. All you gotta do. You don't even need missiles. You can just shoot him with your light, or your blaster or whatever. Beam. I'm sorry. Though for quick work, use your missiles. Anyway, let's grab that morph ball. It's really funny, a lot of people are trying to explain, or a lot of people try to explain how the morph ball works. When in all reality, it's just science fiction. Anything works in science fiction. She probably converts herself into energy or whatever. Alright, now we've got the morph ball. We're gonna go back where we came from, to that one room with Hive Mecha, I believe anyway. I am also going to be saving a lot here because there's a certain spot in this game that I get stuck in at least once every playthrough. I don't know what my deal with it is, but there is this one spot where I will go into a morph ball And when you do that, you'll roll into these two holes, and every time you roll through them, behind you, you'll notice, oh, well, it's a little, or it's elevated, so I'm not going to be able to get up there without morph ball bombs. Well, that specific area is the entrance to the Magmore Caverns, which is basically the fire level, and without Variety Suit, you guys know what happens. You can't get in there because heat resistance will not be on your side without Variety Suit. So you pretty much just doomed yourself. And some of you are probably thinking, oh, well, can't you just jump up and morph as you jump? No. This game is very stingy about how Morph Ball works. It is definitely not how it was in the 2D Metroid games. There are some places where you can do that, but there you hit your head on the ceiling, and well, that's pretty much it. Man, can you imagine one of those things flying around with that kind of stinger? Ugh. I don't even want to think about it. I really hope I'm going the right way. I have a feeling I'm not. Actually, let's check that map. Am I going the right way? There's the Hive Totem. Transport access north. Yep, I'm going the wrong way. I almost made that mistake. So yeah, we gotta go backtrack. When we get Morph Ball bombs, we'll come back here. Get that missile expansion. I think our next upgrade is going to be the Charge Beam. It's been so long, I can hardly remember. Right, I'm going the wrong way again. I want to go over here. Oh, nope. There. Oh. Unmorphed at the wrong time. Those plasmites are very similar to a creature you'll see in Super Metroid when we get there. But as you shoot them, the room will get darker and stuff. Pretty much how they work here. I probably shouldn't have killed them because it's really dark in here. Okay. So for here, we just gotta jump on over. Oh. Thank you. Oh, I remember now. Ouch. Don't drink the green Kool-Aid, kids. Ooh. So you'll notice that my warning gauge went up immediately as I started to enter this room. This is one of those superheated rooms, and you know, obviously without Varia's suit, I can't go in there. Otherwise, the heat will just completely tear me to shreds. So, stay out of there. Oh, yeah, we'll come back for them. I think if we exit and re-enter the room, they should spawn back. I hope they do. Shriek bats are like one of the harder enemies to get scans of. You can get them because they respawn all the time, but you gotta maintain your distance, otherwise they're gonna do exactly what they did in the original Metroid games, and they're just gonna fly down and ruin your day. Because guess what? You didn't act fast enough. Get some energy, scan that, just because later on we'll need to scan them. Alright. I might turn off the hints, because these hints are a little annoying. Again, I pretty much already know where I'm supposed to be going. Be sure to shoot them before you cross over, because they will knock you off and throw you into the acid. Which, as you can imagine, is never a fun time. I always miss one. Shoot here, there'll be a missile pack. Ouch. She stubbed her toe. Yep, so this is the room where we're gonna get the charge beam, which will make this game a heck of a lot easier. Of course, this room has a cryptic little puzzle that we gotta solve. So, first things first, shoot those, because I'm pretty sure they were hiding one. Oh, never mind. But there's one over there. So this puzzle's pretty easy. It's just hide and seek for the most part. Just look for these little rune symbols and scan them. Nothing too difficult. Just make sure you don't get knocked off, because that can happen. There's one more. I'm forgetting him. I want to say he's on the wall next to the door. Yeah, there he is. And that'll turn around, and you gotta scan that, and then that'll open up the door. And we just got charge beam. And just because we got that charge beam, they're gonna give us a little tutorial on how to use it for real. By giving us a bunch of enemies that can only be truly defeated by shooting them with the charge blast. Now you'll see here there's a hole right here. I'll come back when I get morph ball bombs, because I believe that's how you open that up. Didn't say anything about Bendesium or whatever, so, or Denzium, whatever it is. I'm just gonna call it. Well, no, Nintendium is stuff that can't be broken by anything. Pretty sure it's Bendesium. I think this is the save station that they were talking about. Yeah. Go ahead and save here. Yay, I did it. Apparently I already had the log entry though. Wait, really? Wish there was a way to, like, search for these things. Huh, alright, never mind. Apparently I have it. Good to know. So, unfortunately, I don't have a version, like, 001 copy of this game, so I can't really show this off. But that little hole up there in the original version of the game, you can actually, like, clip through it, and you can go and get Ice Beam, like, right off the bat. But they patched it so you can't jump up there anymore. Very cool little exploit, and they always do it in, like, AGDQ or SGDQ. Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick. Very neat little trick. I really want to get me a copy of the original version of the game, just so I can try that out, because I love doing stuff like that. I'll show that off more in Super Metroid, because Super Metroid has a lot of sequence breaking. If we didn't have that scan before, we would have had it then. More ions, which can be taken out with your charge beam, or just shooting them and walking by. And it's here where we start to get into some more puzzle territory. Stone frog. If you saw it by the pictures, you'll know exactly how to defeat him. I believe this is where I want to go. I really hope it is. This has to be where I have to go. Oh yeah. Whew. And here's our next mini-boss. A giant flamethrower. should probably scan them. Ouch. He'll start burning that, and then another form of war wasp will come out. If I can scan them. Barbed war wasp. They will actually shoot projectiles at you, so be careful. You don't have to kill them, it just makes it a little bit easier. This boss fight is like relatively simple. Just shoot it with a missile. Or just use your charge shot. I mean, really, both are about the same amount of damage per shot, so really depends on what your forte is. Ouch. He'll get faster as he takes damage, so use that to your advantage. Because as you're fighting him, you can actually kill some of those wasps with his flames. Anywho, we get morph ball bombs from him. Thank goodness, otherwise we'd be stuck in here forever, so. Pretty sure there's a hole. Yeah. Think there's an energy tank in here? Nope, just more missiles. Never a bad thing. And some energy. So in case you haven't noticed, when we had our Varia suit and stuff in the beginning of the game, the energy that was in the center of the ball was blue. Right now it's yellow. That actually correlates with the type of suit that you're wearing. So if you're equipped with Varia suit, it'll be blue. If you're in just normal power suit, it'll be yellow. And then I think with gravity suit, it should be like green or something. It's either green or like blue or something. I don't remember. Probably doesn't change. Anyway, kill that dude. Just let him suck you in and plant a bomb in his mouth. Fairly simple. Don't forget to scan that. Use your morph ball bomb to get up in there, bomb it, and this will activate part 1 of the puzzle. This involves being kind of fast, so make sure that you're getting there on time. And you'll be able to tell when you're almost out of time because that beeper will start to get faster and faster. That'll raise those platforms, and then you gotta race over there to activate yet another bomb switch. Not a very hard puzzle, unless you do that, then it can get a little tricky. Oh, I hope I don't run out of time. Anyway. Get up in there. And that activates the platforms that you need to get up there. And our cool little puzzle music goes away. I gotta say, the music in this game, I probably mentioned this at the beginning, but the music in this game is like some of the best in the Metroid series. The title screen alone is probably my favorite. We just got ourselves an energy tank. Second one of many. There it goes. Huh, okay. Oh, right. So, thankfully we have bombs now, so we don't have to waste our time with those guys. We're gonna go back to that one room where we got the charge beam. We're gonna do the exact same thing we just did there in that room. Ooh, that could have been. I say as I shoot him way too close to me. Some people wait till the very end of the game to get all the items in an area. I, for one, like getting them and being prepared for whatever may come my way. That, and I also don't feel like backtracking at the very end. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of them real quick. I don't remember their pattern exactly. Sorry if my aiming's a little lousy. The aiming's good for what it is. Definitely could be better though. Open sesame. Oh, I don't have the right stuff for this room yet. I'm not stuck or anything, but oh, never mind. All was not for all was for something. Well, looks like we're gonna be led to our first big boss, but we're gonna wait a minute on that. Ouch. 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 It's always the little ones. Nope, not gonna get me. I'm very surprised those didn't blow up on me. think we're gonna go back up there, because I think, this is just a hunch, but I think if I bomb jump, I can get up above there and get something kind of early. It's nothing like super special, but it's still something. There we go. Look at that. That was pretty sweet. For those of you who don't know, the voice of Samus in this game, that's right, she does have a voice in this game, is Jennifer Hale, and not a robot. Sorry, that was a little mean to that voice actress. She did a good enough job. But, yeah, Jennifer Hale voices Samus's grunts and screams, I guess. Pretty cool. She did some pretty good voice work. Can't really think of too many voices she's done. I know she was like one of the, or I'm pretty sure she did some voice work for some of the Powerpuff Girls or Powerpuff Girl characters or something. I don't remember too much of that. I didn't even watch that much of it to begin with. But I do remember hearing that she was Princess Peach for some of the Mario games. So, that's pretty neat. So these tentacles right here, they're venom weed, which is pretty much the same thing as those whitish looking ones, except these ones, if you roll over them, they act like acid and they can hurt you. So be sure to get rid of them before you carelessly roll over them. Huh, thought that power up would come to me. I am missing a rune. Let's see, I got that one. Oh! Oh, that one at the bottom didn't count. That's right. If you leave the room, things deactivate. Man, that stinks. Fortunately, I don't mind the climb. So now that door up there is open. Oh, I never noticed how the vines glowed. That's kind of cool. makes you not want to save the water. Oh. Well, anyway, back up we go. I keep double tapping the B button, thinking that I'm gonna double jump. I should know better. The double jumps for chumps. Yeah, I hit that one guy as he was coming out. Looking bad. Hello, world. Oh, never mind. Loading, loading. There we go. So here's our first main boss. Or I guess I should say our second main boss. The first one was the beetle dude from the spaceship. So this guy, you can't do damage to him just by shooting at him. This is more like a puzzle type boss. Not terribly hard, just a little annoying. Be sure to scan him, but also scan his tentacles. So, in order to defeat this boss, you have to shoot these things up. That'll cut off his energy from the sun, and his tentacles will go in as he falls over. Your goal from here is to roll up into a ball and drop a bomb in each one of these sections. Once one is gone, then all you have to do is, or it's gone for good, as you can see. If you do shoot him, you can actually stun him for a little while. The yellow doesn't mean that any damage is being dealt to him, but you can definitely stun him, that's for sure. Just make sure that you shoot those mirrors really fast. He always adds one as he goes, or he adds one every single time he gets back up. So eventually all four of those mirrors will be up, and you'll need to stun him, otherwise he can knock those mirrors down as you shoot him up. Anyway, 2 tentacles to go, 2 more to go. Sometimes he will put some weeds in your way. Oh, there he goes. He just knocked down that mirror again. He's gonna try it again. So the name of the game here is just be speedy. And those guys will whack you, so and if you don't get in, or if you don't bomb it quick enough, those tentacles will push you back out, and then you'll have to do the whole thing over again. The mirror stuff, or the mirror stuff. It won't start the whole fight. That would be bad. So this guy can get kind of annoying at times, especially on hard mode. But then again, I guess that can be said about every monster you come across. don't know if the missiles they speed up that process, but I'm gonna give it a try. Anywho, let's make it to the other side really quick. Go, 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 go. Bomb it quick. Yay, we did it. And that is the end of Flagra. And her Little Shop of Horrors musical. Thank goodness, it wasn't a very good one. Not the play itself, but her version anyway. But with her gone, all the acid reverts back to water, so it's pretty safe to traverse through here now, and we also get our Varia suit power up. Very, very nice. And I guess they left the power-ups on the other side. That's okay. I don't know if this suit reduces damage in this game, but if it does, it'll bring it back, or it'll bring it down to like a half or so. I'm almost certain that it just protects you from environmental factors. As far as I'm aware, this is the only Prime game in the series that you have to recollect the Varia suit. In all the other games, you either start off with it or are stuck with it. I know in Prime Hunters, you're stuck with it from beginning to end. There's no bonus suits or anything like that that you'll get in that game. Kind of sad because that game is honestly, like, it's supposed to be short, but I think it could have benefited from having, you know, more items to pick up. So these yellow orbs here will give you 100 energy. Very helpful. Don't keep your laser charged here, because this guy here is attracted to that. Pulse bamboos. They basically just float around, drop bombs, but if you charge up your laser, you're going to have one trying to come after you, unless you let it go. Can't be killed with missiles, and it can't be killed with your normal beam weapon. It can only be killed by energy blasts, so. Anyway, I'm gonna try not to worry about those wasps in here. And I'm gonna try and scan stuff. Cordite will be destroyed by super missiles. You guys remember that from Zero Mission? Or what a super missile is, anyway. And I think I can go ahead and get in there. Normally you're just supposed to go scan this and then hop onto this elevator, and that'll take you to Magmore Caverns. Like I said, this game is very linear in what it wants you to do. You don't have to do that off the bat though, but everything that, or all the upgrades that you're going to be getting that you need to get are going to be on that path. But for now, I'm going to go out of my way to get some extra upgrades. So, energy tanks, missile expansions, what have you. And in here, we have a puzzle that we have to solve. This is one of my favorites to solve, too. Very fun. So, bomb these hatches open. Every time you activate one of those bomb slots, you'll unlock another lock. And this really tests how good you are at using morph bulb jumps. So get those down, otherwise you will not be able to get this. Fortunately, in this game, and all the Prime games for that matter, morph ball jumping, or bomb jumping is like really, really easy. It's almost dumbed down in this game. So, some more lore in here. Nothing over there. Some beetles though. Nothing special in here. Hey, it's that item that we couldn't reach earlier. Turns out it was an energy tank. Do I need grapple beam to get over there? I think I do. Hey, there's a familiar face. So this is one of those few bosses that you can rescan due to the fact that it reappears. I'm not going to waste my time on him, though. Maybe when I get super missiles, just to test out how much stronger we've gotten since the beginning. Ah, you do need the grapple beam to get over there. That stinks. So... okay, there's the magma pool. Just trying to see if there was another spot we could go to. I do know one other place we can go to with our upgrades now. If you go in here, back to where we got our missiles from. All those upgrades just make travel so much better. There's 2 missile tanks we can get over here. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off those little tips, because I don't need them. Sound display visor, there it is. Hint system off. HUD lag, not sure what that is, but I'll turn that off. Did that blow that up? No, it didn't. Beetles and wasps. Goodness. He was having a bad day. Oops. Sorry about that. Another missile expansion off the list. So, next one is going to be, I believe, in the next room. Could be wrong. So you'll notice that there used to be a war wasp nest up here. As the game progresses, some things do change. Much like, you know, what you'd see in an RPG or whatever. This game just does it at random intervals. I think the war wasps do come back here, though. I could be wrong, though. I think there was something in that room up ahead that we missed. I don't think we went through this. Yeah, so this room, if you roll through here after you get the morph ball and not the bombs, this is that place where you can get stuck. So you'll get to this area. This will be the access point to Magmoor Caverns. You can go through here. I guess you can get back. Can you? Huh. I guess you can get back. I remember not being able to get back, though. You go through there, and then you're pretty much stuck here. And then I guess I checked in here, and I was like, oh, well, can't use that. Oh, well, we'll explore that later. Now let's go on to Magmoor Caverns and show off our new heat resistance. Very fun. See that somebody was scribbling on the wall there. Naughty, naughty. We're just gonna drop in, or roll into a ball and drop down. Save in here. There's a Grisby, which I think can be destroyed by a missile. Not much reason to, though. I don't really do anything. Careful of those flame units, because they will push you off and make your day very miserable. Push the wrong button. For those of you who don't know, the A button is actually how you shoot your gun in this game, and B is to jump. I feel so bad killing those burrower things. If you didn't hear that, it sounds like a little puppy. Anywho, welcome to Magmoor Caverns. One of the first iconic enemies here is the Magmoor. Very big. Looks kind of like a hydralisk. Don't get too close to these guys. They'll pop and release a gas. And after you shoot them, you gotta wait till that green stuff goes away. I mean, I guess you can run through it, but it'll damage you, so be careful. This platform I'm standing on right now is sinking. And I'm getting thrown all over the place. Oops. Oh. In one of these corridors, there's going to be an item in one of them, but we'll get to that later. That's for an end game quest. For those of you who have played Super Metroid, you'll notice that this is the same music that's played in Ridley's lair. Very nice rendition, too. We have another enemy down here, Triclops. This is probably the most annoying enemy you're gonna come across too. So this guy really likes balls. So if you get too close to him, he will suck you in and spit you out of his home. So how do you get rid of him? Easy. You you get caught again, and he spins you around. Is he stuck? Oh, thank goodness. I was really scared there. I was like, oh no, he's stuck. Anyway, you get rid of him by dropping a bomb, and he eats it, and then, you know, it explodes in his mouth and he dies. I've never seen that happen before. You'll notice that your HUD gets dirty in certain areas. If it's raining, like on Talon Overworld, you'll get little rain droplets dropping on your helmet visor. Here, if you walk over little like steam clouds and stuff, you'll get steam on your visor. All that fun stuff. But we're not going to worry about that because there's an item down here. If I can find out where to go to get into it. I never noticed some of the sound effects that these creatures make. It's a whole different experience when you're playing with headphones on. I have my headset, so I hear like everything that's going on right now. And I keep tugging on my my string, so cord, whatever. Let's try and clear the room of these guys. Very unique enemy. I do like it nonetheless, though. Go in here, and there should be a missile tank, I believe. Or something completely different. Missile expansion. For a sec, I thought I was going to get an artifact. Go into more about that later on. I got Dorito dust all over my face.
lots of turrets here, so be careful. You can take them out from a distance, though, and they won't hurt you. I think these ones are beefier than the normal ones. Oh, nope. Well, they're stronger, but they're not different. That's weird. Go in here, and by the way, Lone Spooner, if you're still there with us, you and I were talking about this the other night, where to get the ice beam, or the ice beam upgrade. This right here, if you have power bombs, you stop right here, drop your power bomb, and then these windows will break open, and then you just jump down onto that platform there, and right underneath here you will get your power up. Pretty nifty. We'll show that off a little more when we get there. Oh, 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 oh. Nope, that hurt. This is like the worst spot for those guys. Okay. Let's No! Take the balls! Not me! There we go. Eat it. Very intense platforming here. Make sure you don't roll off. Unfortunately, the GameCube has very sensitive C-stick controls, or not C-stick, analog stick controls. So, gotta be. Oh, you little turd! I love the little sound that they make when they spit you out. Okay. So, unfortunately, I can't get over there, which kind of stinks, but whatever. We are going to go right back on track. Ooh. When I get Ice Beam, this area is going to be a breeze. But we're not going to get that for a while. So, one moment, please. Alright, sorry about that. I was getting a call from somebody. I think it might have been a telemarketer or something. I always get these calls and then they like, I pick up and then they hang up. I just want to say hi, that's all. I didn't even realize how many missiles we've got so far. We've got like 55 of them right now. I think there's a total of 255 in this game. So we're making our way up there. Traverse up here and you'll get yourself an energy tank. Very nifty. These little blocks here will take 2 hits before they explode, so use that to your advantage. Okie dokie. So now we are in Phendrana Drifts. This is the snow area of the game. Nothing too special here. It does have some really peaceful music though. And a really bad render of Samus walking through the snow. But what can you expect? Anywho, here we've got some new little Jeemer looking things. Get in here and we'll save. Little things you can scan. Stuff that almost looks like space pirate stuff. Flicker bats, which don't really hurt. They can get in the way sometimes, but most times you're pretty safe from them. We'll have a little water effect on the visor. It's kind of cool. Oh, and speaking of visor effects, if you charge up a blast and you shoot a wall, and you're like really close to it, you can actually see Samus's eyes in the reflection. A part of me really wishes I'd have played this during Christmas, because during Christmas, or if you have your GameCube set to Christmas, Samus will actually be wearing a hat during the gameplay. A little Santa hat. Ouch. I should probably scan these guys. These guys are like really terrifying as a kid, by the way. Used to hate having to go next to these guys because they charge at you, they've got really big teeth, and they can freeze you. And the only way to kill them is to hit them in the back. I believe they're baby she-goths or something. It's a weird name too. Some new burrowers. Apparently my L trigger's not going to hang on very long. See, they sound like little chihuahuas almost. He is just having the time of his life there, isn't he? There he goes. Pulse bamboos. More she-goths. And they will just sleep there until you, like, walk next to them or whatever. Or if you shoot next to them. So, in all reality, you don't have to mess with them unless they're in your way, which unfortunately they are. I wonder if I can sneak. Nope, I can't. Oh, no, I can't. I woke up the other one before that one woke up. Honestly, if you just strafe next to him, you can make pretty short work of them. And another little fact about them, they're one of the only enemies in the game that has like a finishing attack. Or an on-death attack. So, keep out for that. I think there's lore behind me. Yep. Ugh, I love the piano in this song. And even other renditions of these songs and stuff, like if you look at Metroid Metal, these songs transition so well to other instruments. Anywho, next Morph Ball upgrade. This one is specific to the Prime series. The Boost Ball. Hold down B and charge up your boost, and you'll be able to shoot across whatever terrain is possible with the Morph Ball anyway. It allows you to traverse up these half-pipe structures, which are everywhere in this game. Very nifty. We'll be using this to get space jump boots. Unlike the space jump boots in Metroid Zero Mission, this does not allow you to continually jump in the air. It acts more so like a double jump. So it's not all that great of a power-up. Well, it's a great power-up for here, but don't expect it to be like a game breaker or whatever. Man, that must be horrifying, just have to be, or being like right next to those things, trotting around like that. I will help you, brother. Alright, we're gonna run up here before they get us. Go, 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 go! And with that, we are going to see a certain shadow looming over the area. Who other would it be than Ridley, which is probably like Insight saying, hey, guess what, there's gonna be space pirates in your future. Better be ready. But anywho, now that we have the boost ball feature, we're going to go back to the Chozo Ruins. Or not the Chozo Ruins. We're going to be going back to the overworld. And we're going to go get those space jump boots. And with those, I think we're also going to get the ice beam. Or maybe we're just going to get the wave beam. I don't remember. But space jump should be the last of our mobility upgrades, as far as I'm aware. Oh no, never mind. We still have gravity suit to get to. Any logs in here? I know there's one around here somewhere. Guess it's not here though. Man, that's so bizarre. Like I said, I've never really paid too much attention to the sound effects of certain enemies, but with these headphones on, I can hear like everything that they do. Maybe I should upgrade my my sound equipment. Not for the live streams, but just for my own personal use. I have some ZO6 Logitech speakers, I believe. So it's like a 5.1 surround sound system. Pretty nice. I enjoy it. But I know that there's always room for improvement, so I don't want to... Ooh, my goodness. I almost landed into there. I'm surprised my toes aren't being burned off by this. My L trigger is kind of funky, so I'm like trying to log on so I can have more precise jumps, but it keeps disengaging for some reason. I think this controller just might be about dead. Or not dead, but might be needing a replacement soon enough. No, don't take me back. Excuse me. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, you know, there's always room for improvement when it comes to sound quality, and I think that might be something I do in the upcoming future. One thing I've really wanted to do uh, in the upcoming months is upgrade all my consoles so that they can output like the best resolution and, you know, the best video quality they can. Only problem with that is it is very expensive to do that kind of stuff. At least the way that I've been learning anyway. Because I know the best way to do it with consoles like the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis, all those old retro consoles, you know, most of them are going to use SCART, which is this European connection. Pretty much the old version of HDMI and VGA. Gives you really crisp video quality and stuff like that, but it's only compatible with certain TVs, which usually are European TVs. Which is kind of lame if you ask me, but it makes sense. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the RGB SCART thing, because unless I can find an adapter for my TV right now, I don't think it's worth it. And the other thing is I want to get I want to try and make more room for a CRT TV, because I'm really into light gun games. And the only way to play light gun games nowadays, or ever, was to use CRT TVs. So, I'm kind of keeping my eyes open for a big enough CRT TV to put around here. I want to be able to put it like right on top of my dresser in my closet. I think it would look nice in there. But that would be the only reason I'd use it, is for the light gun games. As for graphics and whatnot, I think that would be alright, just on the modern TV. But again, I gotta get the hookups and stuff for it, so if I want it the way that or that'll give me the best quality, I want to use RGB SCART. I've thought about just using S-Video, but I don't see any TVs nowadays using that. And my TV sure doesn't. So, I'm probably going to stick to SCART, which I hear there's really good video conversion stuff for it. So you can hook up your TV to those consoles using SCART. Because, like I said, SCART was kind of a European-only thing. And like a couple like professional monitors probably had them too. But you won't see it on most modern TVs nowadays. So, the only way to do that is to use an upscale converter or some kind of hookup box, which I guess outputs to HDMI. The only problem is the best one out there, the one that's worth talking about, is the Framemeister, which was a Japanese exclusive hookup specific to, or that specifically allowed for like really cool upscaling, and also had a RGB connection, or SCART connection. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. So, I'd love to get one. Problem with that is they are really expensive, especially now. because they're no longer being made, and you know, nowadays they go up for anywhere from $150 to like $300. So odds are I probably won't get that. Unless I somehow make like $1 million on my tax returns, but I doubt that'll ever happen. Anywho, thanks to the boost ball, we just got space jump boots. That makes it look so much cooler than it actually is. In reality, it is just a glorified double jump. So, as you saw there, I double jumped. Now, this is another item that you can get early on in the game. Believe it or not, you still have to have the original 001 copy of the game. But if you stand on top of your ship, like right on the back side of it, and you do this thing called the scan jump, which is where you scan something from afar and you like dash, you can actually like jump yourself all the way up here. Really cool trick. I have never been able to do it because I don't have a copy of that, or that particular copy of the game. If I ever do get one, though, I would really love to try that out. That looks really, really cool. And you can access pretty much everything with double jump. I mean, you still need Morph Ball and the bombs to do the half pipe, or the Morph Ball areas, but with double jump, you know, you can get that ice beam early, like I said a little while ago, and there's just so many things you can get to so early. It's amazing. But alas, I do not have that version of the game. Mine is like 0 or 1.02. Whereas the version that I need, I've been saying it wrong this entire time, is version 1.00, and then, you know, you've got the other version, which is 1.01. It fixes some of the exploits that you can do. I think you can still do half of them, though. But if you really want that experience... Hold on a minute. I gotta take care of this guy. Get out of there. You wanna play? Blasted his butt off in space. Another missile expansion. But anyway, yeah, at some point I do want to get that copy. Probably be a while before I get it, because I'm pretty content with the copy that I have right now. And also, I don't really need to have a reason to spend, or I don't need any more reasons to spend more money. I don't know why I fell off of there. By the way, I don't think I pointed this out. If you ever get bored, you can look up in the air and you can watch the birds, or be like me and just shoot them out of the sky. I'm horrible sometimes. uh, but anyway, we're gonna go head back to Phendrana Drifts, the snow area. And how did I get back there? What is that? Oh. Sorry, trying to find the best route to get there. So I'm gonna have to go... Okay. Anyway. What was I talking about earlier? I think I was talking about... Oh, the RGB stuff. So, yeah, I really want to upgrade all my setups so they output the best possible quality for the systems and stuff. I already talked about how the Frame Meister could do that and stuff, and how I probably won't get one anytime soon. But you know, for the time being, I'm probably gonna stick to something like S-Video, if I can find one. Or if I can find a TV hookup that'll do that for me. I think that would be a lot of fun to play around with. Apart from that, though, that's just for the original consoles and stuff. So, like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, possibly the original Nintendo. I'm not entirely sure if there's anything other than AV cables for that. I know that there's coaxial input for it, but that's lower quality. I'm not really looking to go that route. But then there's like the modern systems, like the Nintendo Wii and you know, PlayStation 2, Xbox. For those, they all have like component cables, and the Wii has a an HDMI adapter. So I've been thinking about getting one of those for that. And then comes the GameCube, my pride and joy of my collection. Well, not really. I think that's more of my Sega Saturn. But I do hold the GameCube in high regard in my collection. Though I know for certain that the one way to get the best video quality from the GameCube normally is to use the component cables. Now, for those of you who don't know, component cables are like really expensive for GameCube. They have this special chip built into them, which no one has been able to replicate. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo did that on purpose. I'm kind of hoping that RetroLink or someone comes up with a way to do it soon enough. But for the time being, nobody's been able to replicate it. And, you know, those component cables are going to elude us forever. And even then, with the component cables, all you're really getting is that video signal. You're not getting sound channels or anything like that. So you still have to have those AV cables to get sound. But if you want the best quality picture from your GameCube, those are like those were originally the best thing that you could get. But again, $300, definitely not something most people would go out and get. Nowadays, there's some guy who has made a plug-and-play HDMI HDMI adapter for the GameCube. I think his name is Zelda X Pro or something, but I learned about this through a guy named Metal Jesus on YouTube, and it's basically just this little thing that plugs into that component spot on the back of your GameCube, and you know, you plug it in, then you plug in your HDMI cable to that, and you have access to like the best quality you can possibly get on your GameCube. And it's HDMI, so you don't have to go and get like any special cables. Saves cable space. And then, of course, you know, a week later, Metal Jesus posts, "Oh, it shorted out my GameCube." And sure enough, if you bump your GameCube or whatever with that version of it, and I believe it was version 2.0, your GameCube has the potential to fry out. Because I guess something in that plug-and-play touched something and shorted out the system's power or whatever. Since then, he's made a 3.0. I've personally wanted to get one. And I knew, you know, even before he made that video, if this is just version 2.0, there's probably going to be an even better one coming out that'll probably, you know, do something even crazier than just give you better video output. That creature just clipped through that bridge there. But anyway, so I knew there was going to be another one, and lo and behold, it's out, or it should be out. I'm not sure if he's completed them or not, but before I continue with that, this is a new feature with Boost Ball. This thing, if you boost into it, it activates certain switches and raises up bridges, or, you know, moves things or whatever. Pretty neat. Comes in handy. That little fuzzy monitor there can be blown up, if you didn't know that. Little fun thing like that. But anyway, going back to that little HDMI thing. I'd really like to get one. They're like $100 right now, which is pretty fair considering how much the component cables were. Component cables are like $300 nowadays. And before I get back to that, here's our next Bendesium. That's what you use to, or that's the thingy you blow up with power bombs. Anyway, this thing here is a Chozo artifact. This is for a quest that we're going to be doing at the end of the game to get to the final area. It's kind of like how the statues from the original Metroid work. You know, you go and beat a boss, and then you come back, shoot those statues, and then a bridge opens up. These are pretty much like that, except you don't have to beat bosses, except for like maybe one or two for them. They're scattered around, so it's basically this big long scavenger hunt. Kind of annoying. It's pretty much the second half of the game because it takes so long to find these things, unless you memorize them by heart. But anyway, nothing's stopping you from getting most of them on your way. In fact, you really shouldn't even know about these right now, but I happen to know this one was going to be here. But if you go and pick it up, that'll get added to your logbook, and you know, that's just one of 12. once you get the rest of them, they'll open up some portal or whatever to the final area of the game. So, yeah. And that's a pretty common thing for the Metroid Prime series. And I don't really mind it too much. It allows you to explore certain areas, and it also helps on, you know, getting the rest of your items throughout the game. Because some areas, you know, you gotta go back and you gotta go find those items again. It's just better to have another reason to go at, or to go back through the game again. But I can definitely see why people are frustrated with it. But anyway, so we're on our way back to Phendrana Drifts. I might actually call it a night at this point. I was kind of debating on whether or not I was going to do the full playthrough today, but this is a very long game, and I'm already getting distracted and whatnot, so I'll probably come back to this with a fresh mind and be ready to roll next time. I'm also kind of hungry too, so probably go get me something to eat for dinner. But I think I'll call it probably after our next boss. I'm not gonna leave you guys too quick. It's kind of weird cutting it off so early, because normally these streams go on for like, you know, 2 to 5 hours. It's causing me to run out of space on my computer. I need to get more hard drives. Got my eyes on a 4 terabyte one. Maybe just an expandable one, but I'm pretty sure I go over there. Yeah, so we got the double jump down. Okay. But yeah, I got my eyes on a new hard drive, be it an internal one or an external one. I just need more space. Talk about interesting decor. I mean, I know it's like an alien race that, you know, was all about, or that looked like a bunch of giant birds and stuff, but honestly, if I saw that coming in here, I would make a complete 180 and get the heck out of here. If you didn't notice, this little beetle here is a different variant of the thing that we saw on the Orpheon frigate in the beginning of the game, that spaceship that we landed on. You'll see like a couple different beetles as you go on through the game, or just different versions of creatures in general. Pretty neat. That's just one of many though, so keep your eyes open. We might find like 3 or 4 more of them. I would like to point out somebody had a really runny nose that day, and yeah, his nose is frozen to his hands now. We'll free him someday though. Brimstone, you know what that means. We're gonna break a priceless artifact. Or priceless piece of Chozo history. think there's another statue over here that's made out of, like, Bendesium or something. Nope. Oh, that's right. That opens up after you free him from his frozen snot wad. Oh look, our next item. It's looking promising. Oh, okay. I was like, isn't there like a wall that's supposed to jump up or something and like stop you from getting it? Anyway, we get swarmed by baby she-goths. They look like chickens when they run. Goodness, if only younger me saw me nowadays. These things like these things used to terrify me as a kid too. Something about the teeth. So there's Mama. If you shoot her, the energy just deflects and gets up into her crystals. The only way to take her down is to wait until she starts panting and stuff. Then you shoot missiles at her. Actually, I should probably scan her while I have the chance. I should probably scan that too. Anyway, she'll do her breath attack or whatever, and your goal is to shoot her when she's tired. I think I died a couple times when I was younger trying to play this one, or trying to beat this boss. In reality, it's not a very hard boss at all. Just make sure that, you know, keep up, and make sure you keep an eye on what she's doing and stuff. Wait for her to breathe. I think shooting the crystals on her makes her, like, weaker or something. I don't know, there's a reason for it, but... There she goes. Good girl. Anyway, with her out of the way, we can go and pick up our next power-up. Has something to do with our arm cannon. It's purple. We just got our wave beam. And here's where the C-stick comes in. So rather than using the C-stick to aim your weapon up or down or left or right, the C-stick is used to change your weapon. So you'll see in the bottom right corner, you know, you have the weapon that's there right now, and it'll show the little different hand configurations for it. I really like that, by the way. Right now we're in power beam mode. If you hit right on the C-stick though, it'll change to your wave beam. Wave beam, it's not like crazy to use. It's definitely not the strongest beam. If anything, I'd say this is probably the weakest beam in the game. Basically, it has that wavy pattern like it usually does. It allows you to open up purple doors. Doesn't go through walls. So, one aspect of it that's not present. However, it is used for puzzles for the most part. So let's say there's like something that's turned or that's powered offline or whatever. If you shoot it with the wave beam, it'll power it back up. Also, the wave beam's used to take out energy-based creatures like these pulse bamboos and the ones in the hallway. Just shoot them with that. Very cool. They'll still be attracted if you charge it, so be careful. Unlike me. But yeah, very, very handy. It does lock on to enemies, so if you're ever wanting something besides missiles to lock on to specific monsters or whatever, you know, definitely consider it. Makes short work of them. And if you shoot Shegoths in the back with a charge shot, it'll stun them. In fact, it stuns a lot of enemies. Just waiting to show that off. See? Also does a really interesting death animation where they kind of just like, ugh. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for today. I do apologize that I'm not going to be not going to be doing the whole game today. Guess I'm just a little tired. I'm also kind of hungry too. But we will save here. We will come back to this. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this next Wednesday. But I'm wanting to try and make Wednesday the day I do my streams. I've been getting into this really good sleep schedule. So I'm waking up a lot earlier. I can do these in the afternoons. And let's say I have work, which, you know, can either be 6 or 7 in the afternoon. You know, I can go ahead, wake up, start this up at 12 or 12:30 to 1 and you know, play till I have to leave. Hopefully this schedule works out. If not, you know, I'm bound to make some kind of adjustment to it. I'm wanting to make it so I can start scheduling these things out. Me and the guy on this, or the guy I was talking to earlier, his name on Twitch is the Lone Spooner. I know him personally, and you know, he's like, hey, you should make up a schedule and stuff. And you know, I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing that. Probably should. So I am going to try to, so you guys can, you know, expect when these streams come up instead of me just posting like 2 hours before on Facebook and, well, sometimes Twitter, being like, hey, here's the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and just you know, make up a schedule so I can have like a routine going on. But anyway, hopefully it'll go down on Wednesday. For any of you, or for any of you who are friends with me or follow me on Twitter, you know, just keep your eyes open. I'll probably post something about starting up a schedule. I might even do it on YouTube. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm yammering on. So, you guys have a fantastic day, or night, or morning, wherever the heck you are. You know, enjoy your day. See you guys next time. Bye.